What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. So another pretty short review that I have for today, because to be frank, nothing changed. Basically, a little bit better performance than what we had against Man U, but it's almost like we upgraded from a non-existent performance against Man U, where we just didn't even hardly try throughout most of the game, to a Potter performance where dominated possession, nothing up front. That's basically it. So, yeah, I mean, I've obviously said it before. I'll say it multiple times, but yeah, Boehly's destroyed this club. Because I mean, Pochettino, in my opinion, he is a pretty good manager. I don't think he's one of the greatest or anything. He's definitely got more about him than Potter does. So when I was looking at this year, I'm thinking, okay, maybe still not our year, still have some gaps, but I think Pochettino could at least make us competitive. If he's even failing to bring out the best in these players, if he's failing to get them to get up and go and try and put effort forth, if he can't even get that out of them, I don't think any manager could. I really don't. I think you bring any manager into this club right now with these players that Boehly is just sort of, oh yeah, let's throw them all together. I don't think any manager is going to succeed here. So, yeah, I look at this performance and very similar. I've never seen a team very similar to what we saw against Man U in the midweek. I've never seen a team that goes a goal down and plays slower. I've never seen that from any other team. I've never, especially you think about it in context, a big team like Chelsea that has won trophies and has been in and around the top four picture for years until Boehly comes in. They have been a top four team. I've never seen one of those teams sitting mid-table and then they go behind in a game and they play slower. I've never seen that before. When Arsenal and when Man U were having their struggles and they were mid-table, I didn't see oh, well, I guess we'll just go out and play. I saw a team that was lacking confidence, lacking tactics, and lacking composure. But I didn't see those teams just, oh, whatever, I guess we'll just knock it around in the back now. Yeah, we got this, right, guys? We're a goal down. That means we're winning, right? That's why we got to play around in the defense, right? I remember seeing some of those games, and yeah, heads would drop. You'd see some players that would get frustrated and get angry and do something stupid. But I never saw those teams just start to, let's just keep a lot of possession in the backfield or through the mid. They would try. They would at least try. I'm not even seeing that from us right now. Everton go a goal up, and it suddenly feels like we're the ones with the goal up, the way we're playing. We're just keeping a bunch of possession. And I do think some of it is down to the lack of movement, but even if that's the case, why is there no movement then? If the reason we're knocking it around in the back is because there's no movement up front, why is that happening? Why do we not have players in there that want to make a run to try to make something happen? Why do we have players that want to stand when we're a goal up or a goal down? Why? And again, I think it honestly comes down to look at the players Boehly's bringing in. We're bringing in a bunch of young, unproven talent that they're here for years. They don't have any stress. They're not worried about, oh, well, I got to make sure I'm justified. No, they've got these contracts that they've lined up for years now, which means there's not a chance that, oh, well, maybe I'll be out of contract or, oh, maybe they'll dock my pay. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep being paid the same ridiculous amount for the next several years. That eases the pressure on them. That makes them feel like, yeah, what do I need to try? I'm making all this money. I'm not saying that they're all thinking that, but there's certainly no pressure at this club right now. It certainly doesn't feel like when I watch these players that they're playing like we need to put in a good performance. We need to do something about this. We need to change things. I don't see that. I see a bunch of players that just don't look like they want to play. They look like it's a chore to come in and play. And that's not what we need at this club. And that's what Boehly's brought in. When I say Boehly, I understand some people are probably going to say, oh, well, it's not Boehly, it's the front office. Boehly brought the front office in it, didn't he? It all stems from him. The people that he brought into this club, they're the ones making the decisions, right? So it's still Boehly's people are making these bad decisions. So it starts from him. He had a chance to work with the people that were still here. He had a chance to work with people that have been around the club for years, that knew how this club functioned, that knew what we needed to bring in. But now he decided to bring in a bunch of new people. And look how it's worked out. We've just been... We look... The commentator said it. I've been saying it for weeks now. We look like a team of individuals. We don't look like a team that works together, that's been brought in to play together. It's just a bunch of kids running around and just, I'm going to make something happen. And they've got no help, and they're crowded out by 3 people because every other team that we play realizes, if you just play like a team against Chelsea, you're going to win. 4 out of 5 times, you'll get the win against Chelsea as long as you just stay focused defensively and work hard as a team. You do that, boom, instant victory. You also have to finish too, because that's something that a couple teams have not done against us. But it's so easy. It's such a simple game to figure out if you just pay attention and turn your brain on. But Boehly turned his brain all the way off, ripped it out of his head, tossed it away. He thinks, we're just bringing this guy, bringing this guy, bringing this guy, and then we'll win, right? That's how soccer works. That's how baseball works. We just got to bring in all these guys, and then we win games. We got to break the MLB, contract record? I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, again, this should be simple. Like, these guys, at least for their pride, you would think, they would want to go out there and work hard. But every single game I watch, it's the same problem over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We've put in one good performance in these past 10 games against Man City. And that was it. Outside of that, every performance has been mediocre or awful. Or like the Man U game, non-existent. I don't know. All I can do is hold my hands up and go, I don't know what we can do. But the only thing I can think at this point is, transfer window. You get rid of some of these guys that are clearly not in it, that clearly don't want to be here. You look at guys like Mudryk, look at guys like Caicedo, look at guys like Disasi, Sterling, sometimes Jackson. I mean, some of these guys, they don't look like they want to be here when they play. They'll turn it on every now and then, but most of the game they're just walking around. James, you got to get rid of him too. I mean, he's been so worthless since he got injured, and almost every 2 months he gets injured again for another few months. We don't see him. When he comes back, he's even less of a player than he was before. So he's not worth it anymore. We've given him the captain's armband. Said, hey, you're the most important player at this club. And he's always out, always injured. And then when he comes back, he's terrible. It's the same stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Individual by individual, there are only a few. I mean, Palmer, even he's kind of dropped off a little bit, but I do think some of that is just down to the players around him are not giving him the help that he had against Tottenham and Man City. Those games where people were actually moving a bit more, he had more time to play, and he looks fantastic when he does. But we've become so stagnant and standing that he has no options. He gets crowded out by 3 people. He's not going to look as good in these games. Fernandez, kind of the same thing. He looks good on the ball. He can pick out good passes, but if nobody's making runs for him, he's standing on the ball waiting for somebody to make a run, and then somebody comes in, takes it away from him, or forces him to go backwards. Defensively, we look absolutely terrible. Silva's the only defender that I can think of that we have that's quality, and even he's not capable of doing it every single match now. Colwill, 3rd game now. The 3rd game that I've seen him where he doesn't go put pressure on somebody and then they score. It happened in the Tottenham match against Kulusevski. He's backing off. Kulusevski has a shot, deflects off of him, goes in. In the Brighton match, backing off. Kid has a left-footed curler into the far post. In this one, ball comes out to Decore. Stands. Doesn't even back off. Just stands. Okay, maybe if I stand right here, maybe he'll shoot it right at me and then I can block. Oh, I shot it right beside me. Dang it. I guess I shouldn't have given him so much of it. Go pressure him. How has that not been coached out of him at this point? Again, the Tottenham match is the first time it happened. You would think the coaches would look at that and say, hey, that can't happen again. We got to make sure that doesn't happen. Colwell, Levi, come here. Come here. Yeah. You see this? You see how you backed off of him and you didn't step closer to him and cut off his angle? Yeah, we're going to need you to stop doing that. And then it happens again in Brighton. Levi, we talked about this. Right? Hey, no more. And then he does it. He should be benched. I don't want to see him again if he's just going to stand there as Decore's just having a free shot at goal. Cut off his angle. You're a defender. You should know this. This is the basics of defending. You go put pressure. I mean, we teach kids this. At the soccer camp that I used to help out with, we would teach the little kids. Like, you get up there quickly, break down, get low, and now you're forcing him to one side. But for Colwell, it's, no, I'm going to back off of him, or it's, I'm just going to stand here and hope he kicks it at me. So lazy. But yeah. I mean, just going through it, I guess, real quick, individuals. So yeah, Sanchez, not much, but now he's injured, so maybe Petrovic will finally show that we have a good keeper, maybe? I mean, again, if Sanchez has been beating him out this whole time, then that tells me Petrovic is even worse of a keeper, which concerns me, since Sanchez isn't really that great. But yeah, Colwell, another poor performance from him in that one sense. You know, overall, it's kind of hit or miss throughout the game, but then that one moment just takes it down to a bad performance. Badiashile still looks very shaky, uncertain. Disasi, probably his worst performance. He's had a lot of up and down performances. Like, every single game, it seems like he'll go from good and then bad, and then good and then bad. Today, it was just mostly bad. Like, I didn't see much good from him today. And then Cucurella started on the left, moved to the right. I mean, he's back to his old self again, so I don't want to see any more of him. Again, Fernandez, like I said, crowded out a lot because he didn't have options. Caicedo, he wasn't terrible today, but definitely wasn't helping us at all. Mudryk, I mean, had a couple of moments here and there, but on the whole of it, he had a poor game. Palmer, like I said, not a whole lot of help. Gallagher, I mean, works hard, but has nothing to show for it. Broja had a chance to prove that he deserves a chance, and then he didn't do anything with it. Subs that came on, well, I guess Cucurella or Colwell was a sub, but Jackson and Sterling come on for. What's funny, I'm thinking we got to get Gallagher and Mudryk off because they are our two most wasteful players in the second half and in most of the first half too. Like, they wasted so many good chances. So I'm thinking you get Gallagher and Mudryk off. Jackson goes up top with Broja. Maybe having two strikers will put them off. And then Sterling comes on for Mudryk on that left side. So you got Palmer and Sterling, you got Jackson and Broja, and Pochettino says, screw that noise. We're going to go like-for-like swap with Jackson and Broja, bring in one bad striker for another bad striker, and then we're going to bring Sterling on for Fernandez, so now we have less creativity in the midfield with Gallagher, and we have less work up top with Sterling. It's going to work out perfectly, and then we got scored on again, and we barely created anything after that, so, yeah. I'm not saying Pochettino is the problem, but he's definitely the past few games have called into question his ability based on how things have been going. Like, it feels like he's not having much of an effect on this team anymore. It feels like players have stopped really playing for him and more so just playing for themselves. That's it. But yeah, I mean, neither of them came on and did much of anything. Sterling, he's having, because he'll have those games where suddenly he turns up and he looks fantastic. He'll have one or two of those, and then he'll go on a run of 4 or 5 where he looks basically non-existent. Like, he'll get the ball and it's almost like a little black hole. Like, it'll get sucked in and it won't ever come out. It'll go right to the other team. So he's in that run of form right now where he's just been non-existent. And Jackson, like I mean, Broja's needed to step up because Jackson's not been giving us what we need. So you bring on Jackson for Broja, you're basically getting, again, another bad striker. So, and then Maatsen came on and Petrovic came on, and Petrovic, I guess you had the one save to make and you didn't make it. So, and then Maatsen, I don't really remember much from him. I mean, he's not the player you bring on to save the game. He's the player you bring on if you're leading and you want somebody that can be a wing player that also works back and works hard off the ball. He's that type of player. So you're bringing him on to try to save the game. It's not going to work. So, but yeah, and like I said, there's not much else to say really. It's been the same stuff that we've had a problem with. I honestly, after the Man City game, going into the Newcastle game, and then going into the Brighton game, I kind of felt like it was okay, so it's just kind of an inconsistent season right now. We're having a good performance and a bad performance and an performance. Honestly, now I'm kind of feeling like no, we're hitting that form again that we saw under Potter, that we saw under Lampard, where these players, they start to just get in this rut of form. And it's like they don't want to work hard to get themselves out of it. And so we're just stuck watching these awful, 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 awful performances week in, week out. And we just have to sit here and watch. And apparently if you complain about it, that makes you a fake fan. Because, yeah, you got to support the club even when they don't look like it. The reason I'm not wearing my Chelsea jersey anymore is because I don't want to disrespect those jerseys. Because I have the Yokohama one, and I have, I think, one of the Samsung? I know I had a Samsung. I think one of them, like the lettering got all messed up because washed it too many times. But I don't want to disrespect those jerseys by wearing them to support this team right now, because this is not Chelsea. This is an entirely new team. They should rename the team now to I don't know, what's a pun on Boehly that makes sense with crap. Boehl movement. Boehl movement. Yeah. I'm thinking that's probably the best term for how the team is going right now. And again, it puts the blame where it needs to be, because Boehly's come in and he has turned this team into something unrecognizable. It has been absolutely... We've had some similar problems in the past, but it always felt like there was enough quality and enough desire to get ourselves out of it. So we might struggle for a little bit, but we'd at least put in enough decent performances to being around the top four. Ever since Boehly's taken over, it's not been anything. It has been just complete waste of time to watch this team. I don't see any point at all in watching the games, because it feels like there's just nothing there, really. It's, again, just a bunch of individuals running around, trying to do their own thing, not working together as a team. That's not what I want to watch when I watch soccer. I don't want to see that. I want to see a team that works well together, moves the ball around brilliantly. So, yeah, this is not the Chelsea that I want to support. I'm not saying I'm not a fan anymore, but I'm just saying from a fan perspective, this is not what I want to see. So Boehly, in my opinion, has ruined my club, and I want him out. I do. And unfortunately, I don't have the money, but if I did, I'd find a way to fly to his house in LA, and I'd pick it outside of his house and be like, hey, get your hands off my Chelsea. Get your grubby American, greedy hands off my Chelsea. You're sitting there making a ton of money for yourself, probably. Meanwhile, we're sitting here wallowing in nothing. So, but anyways, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the game today? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys. Well, I guess not Chelsea reviews. Boehl movement reviews. Peace out.